Now, 4 months ago, I honestly thought this was going to be one of those gadgets I'd use for a single review and then it would sit on my shelf collecting dust. Because let's be honest, a robot that cleans your windows, I mean, it's pretty cool, right? But it sounds like something you don't actually need. Now, fast forward 4 months, and I honestly can't remember the last time I cleaned my windows by hand. Not because my Windows magically cleaned itself, but because this made the chore so effortless that I actually stopped putting it off. And today I'm gonna tell you everything that I've learned after months of real use around my house. The things I genuinely love, things I wish were better, the maintenance, how it's holding up, whether it's still reliable, and who I actually think should buy one. Because after 4 months, I think I finally understand who this robot is really made for. Before this robot came into my house, cleaning windows was my absolute least favorite chore. Not because it's difficult, but because it's incredibly annoying. You have to grab the spray bottle, you have to find clean microfiber cloths, if you even have one. You have to move furniture and sometimes drag out the heavy ladder, right? And then once you're finally done, you step back and you realize you missed some streaks, or left some fingerprints, or forgot another window entirely. So instead, I tell myself I'll clean them next weekend. And then the next weekend come, and then the next month. Sounds familiar? That's exactly why most of my windows only got cleaned a couple of times a year. Now, I didn't want dirty windows. I just hated the process. And honestly, that's what the WINBOT W3 OMNI changed. It didn't completely automate window cleaning for me, but it completely removed my biggest excuse for not doing it. Now, whenever I notice fingerprints on my patio doors or dust building up on the living room windows, I don't say I'll do it later. I just grab the robot. After 4 months, I've used this on almost every type of glass around my house: interior windows, exterior windows, patio doors, bathroom mirrors, bedroom mirrors, and even glass around the shower. Basically anywhere there's large, smooth glass. And something I didn't expect here is I actually use it on mirrors way more than I thought it would. Mirrors get dirty surprisingly fast, especially in the bathroom. Instead of wiping them manually every single week, I'll just stick the WINBOT on there while I'm brushing my teeth or getting ready. It became one of those little conveniences I didn't think I'd care about. Now, one thing I want to mention right away here is that this isn't like owning a robot vacuum, right? You know how you have a robot vacuum, it can clean your whole house while you're at work or you're away, but a window cleaning robot still needs you to move it from window to window. So it's not fully automated, okay? But honestly, that never bothered me because moving the robot only takes a few seconds. The part that I hated wasn't walking around the house. It was spending an hour manually scrubbing glass, and this robot actually gets rid of that part. Another thing I appreciate much more after living with it is that the OMNI Station itself. When I first unboxed it, I thought, okay, basically it's just a fancy carrying case, right? But after months of use, it became obvious why the ECOVACS designed it this way. Everything stays together: the robot, the safety rope, cleaning solution, and charging setup. Everything has its place. When I'm done cleaning, I don't have, cables laying around. I don't have random accessories sitting on a drawer. I like how it all packs away neatly, which means I actually use it more often. Now, this has a built-in battery, and I think that's very underestimated, right? When you're cleaning windows, especially outside, power outlets are almost never where you want them. Some parts of my house that has windows also don't have plugs, so the battery helps a lot here. Having a portable station means I'm not constantly hunting for extension cords. I just carry the station with me, move from window to window, and keep cleaning. It makes the whole experience feel incredibly portable. And then there's the automatic cable retraction. When I first saw that on the spec sheet, I thought, cool, I guess. But after 4 months, I appreciate it every single time, because there's nothing to wrap up afterward. The cable retracts neatly into the station and everything stays organized. It's one of those quality of life features that doesn't sell the product, But once you've used it, you don't want to go back. Now let's talk about the question that everyone asks me, which is, can you actually trust this thing on your windows? Now, I'll admit, the very first time I used it, okay, especially on a second floor exterior windows. Now, I stood underneath it and I didn't really trust it, you know. I kept waiting for it to fall, but after using it over and over for 4 months, that fear completely disappeared. The suction is incredibly strong. The safety rope gives you physical peace of mind, and after dozens of cleaning sessions, I've never had it fall. The confidence only comes from long-term use here though. Now, that doesn't mean you should ignore basic safety. I still make sure the safety rope is secured. I still check the cleaning pad, and I avoid using it during bad weather. But once everything is set up correctly, I don't feel like I need to babysit it anymore. And that's a massive difference compared to day one. So, does it actually clean well enough to replace doing it by yourself? After 4 months, I think the answer depends less on the robot and more on your expectations. If you're expecting this robot to take a window that hasn't been cleaned in 2 years and make it look showroom perfect in one pass, you're expecting too much, okay? But if your goal is to keep your windows consistently clean with almost no effort, that's where the WINBOT W3 OMNI really shines. Over the past 4 months, I've cleaned fingerprints, dust, pollen, light water spots, rain marks, and everyday dirt. For everyday maintenance, it does an excellent job. Instead of waiting until every window looks terrible, I just clean them more often because it's so easy. That means the robot isn't constantly fighting months of building up grime. It's simply maintaining clean windows. One feature I've really grown to appreciate is the active spray system. Instead of just dragging a dry microfiber pad across the glass, it sprays cleaning solutions ahead of its path. That helps loosen dirt before the pad reaches it, making the final result much more consistent. But what about streaks? My answer after 4 months is usually no. But there are 2 situations where you might see them, okay? The first is using a dry cleaning pad. I think once that microfiber pad becomes saturated with dirt, you're basically wiping dirty water back across the glass. Now, if your windows are especially dirty, swap to a clean pad, okay? Now, the second situation is cleaning glass in direct hot sunlight. Just like washing a car, the situation can dry too quickly and leave watermarks. Whenever possible, clean early in the morning or later in the evening. Those 2 small adjustments made a noticeable difference, in my opinion. Now, speaking of cleaning pads, the Vortex Auto Wash Pad system is one of the biggest upgrades here. The station helps wash and dampen the pad during use, and you're not constantly wiping with filthy cloth. The pads themselves are holding up surprisingly well after 4 months as well. They're still soft, they're still cleaned properly, and haven't noticed any major deterioration. And as for the corners, the edge cleaning technology gets impressively close. Occasionally, depending on your window frames, there might be a tiny speck left in deep corners. But compared to cleaning an entire floor to ceiling patio door yourself, that is a trade-off I'm more than happy to accept. Now, how reliable has it been after 4 months? Honestly, this surprised me, okay? We've all reviewed smart home products that work great for maybe a week, and then slowly develop issues. Random app disconnects, sensor errors, charging problems. But with the WINBOT, that really hasn't happened. The suction feels just as strong as day one. The spray system still works, the driving tracks still grip the glass confidently, and the app has remained completely dependable. Well, what about maintenance? It's actually pretty simple here. After a cleaning session, I emptied the dirty water, refilled the clean water tank, and let the microfiber pad dry before storing everything away. That only takes a couple of minutes. Now, does the OMNI Station itself get dirty? I mean, like everything else, of course, right? Because it's washing dirty pads. But because it features an automatic inner chamber cleaning cycle, it stays remarkably clean. Every so often, I'll spend 2 minutes wiping out the inside just to keep it looking fresh and to avoid any potential odors. Just don't leave dirty water sitting inside the tank for weeks, okay? That's not good. If you empty it after your session, you won't have any issues. Now, even the physical hardware looks great here. The white finish has shown no yellowing or discoloration, and the driving tracks are holding up perfectly well. It went from being a cool gadget to another reliable tool in my cleaning routine. So, Who is this actually for? If you live in a small apartment with only a couple of, easy to reach windows, honestly, save your money. You don't need this, okay? But if you own a home with large windows, sliding patio doors, glass railings, large mirrors, or second-story glass, that's where this starts to make sense, especially when you compare it to hiring a professional window cleaner. I used to hire professional window cleaners once or twice a year, and every single time I had to schedule an appointment and wait for someone to come. If you're the type of person who likes keeping your windows clean throughout the year, the value of owning something like this becomes much more obvious. Whenever I notice fingerprints, dust, or rain spots, I don't wait anymore. I can clean my windows whenever I want with no scheduling, no heavy ladders, no reoccurring bills. Now to wrap things up, let's go through a quick long-term of the questions I get asked the most. First one is it noisy? Yes, I guess. You will definitely hear the vacuum motor while it's working. It's about what you'd expect from a device that needs enough suction to stay securely attached to a vertical glass. Now, does it leave streaks? In my opinion, like almost never. As long as the cleaning pad is clean and you aren't cleaning in direct scorching sunlight, the results are excellent. Does glass thickness matter? The WINBOT W3 OMNI has a minimum glass thickness requirement, which is at least 3 millimeters. Now, most household windows should be fine, but for, certain thin or fragile glass or mirrors, it is not recommended to use the WINBOT. Now, can it clean frameless glass or mirrors? Yes. I've used it on frameless glass doors and bathroom mirrors without any issues. How often do you refill the cleaning solution? The robot's internal reservoir holds plenty of solution, and the clean water tank on the OMNI Station easily lasts throughout a full multi-window session before needing a quick top-up. Has the white finish turned yellow? No. Mine still looks as clean and white as the day I unboxed it. Are the driving tracks showing anywhere? Not at all. They still grip the glass confidently and operate smoothly. Has the water tank developed any odors? For me, not at all. The trick is simply emptying the dirty water tank right after you finish cleaning and wiping a little bit of the dirty residue. Does the OMNI Station get dirty easily? I think a little bit, but the built-in automatic inner chamber cleaning keeps it minimal. A quick wipe takes less than 2 minutes. Now, have you experienced any malfunctions or scary moments? Honestly, not at all. I've never experienced it fall on me, or no sensor glitches at all, no app drops either. It's been incredibly dependable. So would you buy it again? Honestly, yes. I realize I actually enjoy having clean windows now. Before, I only got that feeling after a big seasonal clean. Now I can have it almost any weekend. Not because I've become more motivated, but because keeping the windows clean no longer feels like a hassle. Now, it didn't magically make me love cleaning windows, okay? It simply removed the friction that kept me from doing it. And that's why my windows are cleaner today than they were before I owned it. It transformed my cleaning routine from an avoided chore into an effortless habit. Now, if you've been looking for a way to keep your home's glass consistently spotless without turning it into a massive chore, the ECOVACS WINBOT W3 OMNI is easily one of the smartest smart home upgrades you can make. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you have any questions at all about my 4-month experience, leave them in the comments below and I'll see you guys over there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!